talk superfoods. I'm sure you probably have been hearing a lot about superfoods in the media. It's actually become really a media buzzword. It has no real definition, but if you had to come up with a definition for it, it really means a food that is very dense in nutrients. It has a great abundance of nutrients. And that really is pretty much any whole food can classify as that. But today I thought we would just look at some of the, what's so-called superfoods. At one point or another, they've been on some list that you can actually find at most of the local grocery stores. Some you may actually have to look maybe in the natural section, but you should be able to find all of these in a typical grocery store. So let's start with kale. Kale is, of course, one of our favorites. You're probably going to hear a lot about it, whether you come to our Eat and Learn seminars or kids in our school workshops. We have a lot of kale. We bring a lot of kale to the schools. We introduce it to them, so we absolutely love kale. And one of the reasons is because it for sure classifies, if you want to call it a superfood, a nutrient-dense food. It has many vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin C, and it's packed with fiber and just the, so many vitamins that we would do a whole video on it, and we probably will one day. But for now, I think we'll leave that. Kale is an excellent nutrient-dense food. Then we've got blueberries, which the one thing I would say with blueberries is definitely it would be one of those things you'd want to try and get organic as much as possible because they are very, very highly sprayed. And at times of the year when they're so expensive organic, then I just switch to a different fruit or a different vegetable, but I'd much rather buy these organic. And again, they are full of vitamin C. They're a very powerful antioxidant. And, most kids will like blueberries. So it's probably one of the easiest things to give to your kids. It's actually very, very nutritious and they won't fight you too much on it. And then we've got almonds. And again, almonds, if you're going to eat them, raw is the best, but I know some people just can't take the raw taste and some kids can't either. So if you're going to roast them, just do a very light roast and roast them at home. Buy them raw, roast them at home. Put your oven in the lowest temperature, probably like around 170 to 200 degrees. And then roast them for about 12 to 15 minutes just to get that little crunchy taste. But you don't want to roast them too much because then you're actually getting rid of the oils, which is where you find a lot of the healthy fats and a lot of the really good nutrients in almonds. And it's also a good source of fiber and plant protein. So of course they classify as a superfood in any definition. Then we have quinoa, which has actually become very popular. Again, I said this is the one you might not be in a regular section of supermarkets, maybe in an organic or natural section. And it's just a very, very fine grain. And you can do different things with it. You can make cold salads. You can make it like rice. But the one thing I would say is when you cook it, add some flavor to it because by itself, if you're just going to use it as a rice, it doesn't have much of a taste. So add it in a salad. And we have some recipes on our website you can see for different things you can do with quinoa. And the best thing about it is you get to eat it in its whole form. So you're not eating a processed grain in a bread or so on. You're eating it in its whole form. And it's actually got a really good source of plant protein. From as far as plant protein is concerned, it's a good source. And of course, for me, no super food list or nutrient-dense food list is complete without my favorite avocado. And the avocados are a really excellent source of good fats. And we need fat. I know fat gets a bad rep, but you need fat. Kids need fat for brain development. And depending on how your kids are, if you can just slice this and give them a spoon and have them eat it. But if you don't have kids who are that adventurous, and mine don't particularly eat it that way either, you can make a guacamole, which is on our site as well, or you can make even a chocolate pudding. So many different things you can do with the avocado. But overall, these are just 5 examples of what we would call superfoods. But like I said, no definition. The biggest thing and the most important thing is again to keep your diet rich in whole foods.
Learn, eat, grow.